Here's a wrestling nitpick for you. These are some photos of Brock Lesnar. Now, can you tell me the big difference between these two photos? Yes, correct. It is the level of yeehaw, but the next big thing is the championship belt. The first photo is circa 2002 after Brock Lesnar won the WWE Championship from The Rock at SummerSlam. The next is Brock Lesnar with the WWE Championship in 2022 before WrestleMania 38, basically 20 years later. Now, in the 2002 photo, we can clearly see Brock's name displayed on the belt. But in the 2022 version, instead, he's got side plates of that evil-looking back tattoo logo. So, when did WWE ditch nameplates? Some of my favorite championships in the company's history had a nameplate on the bottom. Even mid-card and tag titles got some love for a bit there. However, these side plates present stylistic changes that might be more in line with the WWE's current product, which emphasizes, as we know, motion graphic text and digital LED displays over physical stage structures, vignette Titantrons, and templatized nameplate fonts around the lower thirds and on belts. WWE pulled back on physical sets to make their lives easier and less expensive, all while they decided to introduce custom championship side plates for nearly every single wrestler lucky enough to win a title, even the NXT ones. In favor of the side plates, now that we only get text branding for every wrestler via Titantron, it seems like a good idea for WWE to keep the branding consistent across the board. And I'm so freaking sure that they don't hate the revenue they generate from WWE's shop from them. But when did side plates become a thing? Are they overused today? And most importantly, do we like them? Let's talk history. Nameplates were first introduced on WWE titles more recently than I thought. I mean, way more recently. Or maybe that's just me being a goddamn millennial. The Undisputed Championship was introduced to champion Triple H on the April 1st, 2002 Monday Night Raw. And this belt had a nameplate. It was the first. That was right after Triple H beat Chris Jericho in the main event of WrestleMania 18, which was, yes, the main event of the night. We went the entire Golden Age, New Generation, and Attitude eras without nameplates. That's crazy, I didn't know that. Maybe it was just a Mandela effect, but I thought they were on everything, but no. Only from 2002 did we actually get Triple H or, you know, Paul London or Eminem written out on a belt. Eyes up here, boys. Things were all well and good for the nameplate until 2013. In 2013, The Rock dumped the spinner belt on its ass for a 3-second tan and introduced the new WWE Championship belt. This belt is an inch closer to the design today with the pointy logo, you know, instead of the beloved scratchy W. But this belt began a mass turnover in the WWE's championships. And 12 years later, every WWE championship, to my knowledge, has custom side plates for every wrestler. And not only was this an aesthetic decision, but it was also a pretty big business decision. Custom nameplates were all the rage on WWE Shop for anyone that wanted to buy their own replica belt. And I remember you could take a templatized nameplate from your favorite wrestler and in some instances, put your own damn name on there. That's pretty cool. And now though, with every title belt ripe for side plates, the company is able to say, well, you know.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Not to mention the interesting and highly priced custom replica belt trend WWE has been pushing to take all your rent money, every single cent. But like, who the fuck would buy this thing? Who would buy this? But no question, this change was a good one for the company's bank account and it helped usher in a new era of belt sales. But is it a change that we like? Okay, although I will admit at times it does look a bit corny and lend itself to price gouging at times, I think it's a pretty cool change. I grew up on nameplates and templatized lower third graphics, so the wrestler had to really stand out in other ways. Side plates bring an extra layer for customization to championship belts, which had some design flaws for about 10 years or so there, but in my opinion, this is the best they've looked actually since the Ruthless Aggression Era. Although they clearly sacrificed what I think is some classiness by getting rid of the nameplates, the side plates do add a new dimension and help accentuate a wrestler's personality. I can take some dumbass cartoony side plates as long as I get sick ones like Kevin Owens or Rhea Ripley. Especially for the current WWE product, branding and logos really matter, and I get that. That's how they sell merch. Customer product sales for WWE reached over $44 million in 2022, and I'm sure it has not slowed down since then. And the TKO acquisition has only pushed their agenda for profit further, hence WrestleMania being sponsored by fucking Dude Wipes and Fatal Fury of all things. It was commissioned by a Saudi prince, I heard. But alright, I can get into WWE's money sucking another day. But the side plates can be a bright spot to the presentation of championship belts when they're used well. They look good. It also helps the wrestler who makes a percentage of their side plates being purchased, I'm sure, as they do for merch. So what's your take on side plates versus nameplates, guys? I'm way more infuriated about other changes to the product. So this one just doesn't read as a huge deal to me necessarily. It's something small. I think it's fine. If the belts are nicer than they were previously and you can get some branding on there, sure, go for it. In my opinion, it just lacks the class of the old belts, but that's not the company's presentation style anymore. There's no big gold, just big W. And by presentation style, I mean toy manufacturing to make that sweet, sweet dough.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Anywho, leave a comment below. Hope you had fun today, and on your way out, be sure to give me a
Ooh, chavo.